Hey, hello, my friend. Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I ship large paintings like this one right here, right behind me, without breaking the bank. And I also have a pre-gift I want to give you on best practices for shipping your art.
My name is Sergio Gomez. I'm an artist, curator, gallery owner, author, and co-founder of the Art NXT Level program. And my goal with this channel is to make marketing and art business easy so that you can grow your art career, find new opportunities, sell more art, and spend more time creating in the studio. So if you like that, make sure you click on the subscribe button and click on the little bell so that you receive notifications of our future videos.
All right, my friends, so welcome back. When it comes to shipping, it could be quite expensive for those artists to ship artwork, particularly if it's something large. Anything that exceeds like 36 inches or so, start to get into the 40 inches or larger, it can become quite expensive. So I wanted to show you, as I'm actually preparing to ship artwork, I wanted to show you how I will do it if you don't want to break the bank. Of course, one of the options you can do for large work is build a crate or have somebody build a wooden crate. That's always like the most protective that your artwork will be when it's on a wooden crate. But that could be quite expensive, and also that could be quite difficult to get it from, to build one crate if you have never done one to ship it out. So I want to show you another option that is cost effective that you can use as well. And I have also a gift to share with you with some resources and information that can help you ship art at an economical price, and also some best practices and some recommendations I have for you. So let's get right into it. It's going to be a great video that I think is going to be very useful for you. All right, now the first thing that you need before you start packing is make sure that the painting that you're going to wrap is 100% dry. I don't recommend that you pack a painting that is wet, particularly you're working with oil. That could cause some problems. Even if you use glassine paper, I have seen paper that gets stuck on the surface and then leaves a mark on the painting. Unfortunately, because I work with the gallery, I have seen many artists ship the artwork. Sometimes I have seen, unfortunately, some artwork that comes a little bit damaged because the artist did not wait for the surface to fully dry. So you want to make sure that the surface is fully dry before you pack your artwork. So give yourself time. If you're going to ship your art and you have a deadline, make sure you give yourself proper time for it to dry so that when you pack it, it's fully dry and ready. So that's step one. Step two, what you want to do is you want to buy glassine paper. Glassine paper, you can buy it by the roll. I put some recommendations in the downloadable that I'm going to give you where you can buy it. You can buy it by the roll. If you ship a lot, buy a big roll. If you don't ship a lot, buy a small roll, and then you cut it into strips. And the glassine paper, what it does, it protects the surface of your painting. So, it doesn't get stuck to the plastic and the wrapping that you're going to put around it, right? The bubble wrap. That's important because if you use that with the high temperatures that may be during transport of your painting in the plane or the bus, the truck, whatever your painting may be going through, those fluctuations of temperature can make the plastic to adhere to your surface, and you don't want that. When it gets to the other side, that the surface is damaged because you didn't protect it. So use the glassine paper. The glassine paper is similar to when you do baking and you put the cookies in the oven. So you put a sheet of non-sticky paper. It's kind of similar to that. Has the same feel to it, and you just wrap the painting around it, and that would be really good. So that's step one. I have already done that, so I'm not gonna bother you showing you how to do that. That's pretty straightforward. So this painting is already good to go, ready to roll. So I have already put a cold sheet of glassine paper over it. Now, for the first step, I like to use, painter's tape. So it's not very strong. I like this tape better for that first layer. So as I put the paper around the painting, I use this more soft, I would say, tape to, to keep the paper in place. Never put the paper straight on the surface of the canvas. Always wrap the painting. And this tape is safe to put in the back of the canvas. It needs to be attached to the canvas itself on the back, but never tape anything to the front of your frame. Super important. Then what I would do is I would get some bubble wrap. So this already has bubble wrap. And for this, I will use packing tape, regular clear packing tape. And the bubble wrap is that, used to protect the painting all around and make sure that you have a nice coat of that. You can buy again, a small roll of bubble wrap, or because they buy by the sheets. Again, depends on how much you ship and how big is your artwork. If it's big, but you only ship once or twice a year, then, buy a small roll and then just cut it in strips and use the tape, to make sure those strips do not fall, which I have seen happening also when artists ship their artwork. So make sure that, the tape is nicely put together. So you have that there. Now, when it comes to the bags, there are various options. There are various options for bags, and I have used many options. There are professional art shipping boxes that you can get. And I'm going to give you some options in the downloadable. The art shipping boxes are boxes that you open up, almost like a pizza box. You open up the box, there's a foam inside. You cut the foam to shape. You put the artwork exactly to fit in that shape. So you cut exactly to the shape of your artwork. And then you put the other piece of foam that also comes, a soft foam that comes in the box. You close the box. Of course, after you have put the glassine paper on the cover, you're painting and maybe a little after you want. And then you close it, tape it, and we're ready and it's good to go. Those boxes are, it's cardboard in the outside, and they have also a protection in the inside on both sides of the box. So it makes it more resistant, from to punctures that may happen during shipping. And those boxes also keep the artwork from moving around and also keep it also in place. Now, I highly recommend those, but those are expensive. Those boxes, for a big box for that artwork like this, it will be probably about almost a bit from the bump or so by the time I pay for shipping for one of those boxes. So when I give you another option, the option for under $40, I went to the hardware store. I went to Pop People, and I got one of these, which is a box. Let's say you turn around. The extra large ED bags. So the extra large ED bags actually work really, really good. And this one is 46 inches high, and it could be expandable all the way to 80 inches wide. So, it's expandable size, and it is really, really great. And the depth is 4 inches, will especially fit a page. These glasses are meant for flat 14 television. So I thought, perfect, Hey, what more fragile than a TV? Well, a work of art. So what I love about this bag too is because of the way it's made. It's pretty much almost like two boxes into one. That's like an accordion, right? It extends toward also pocket the already. So because of that, what I know about it is the thickness of the bags. It's heavy cardboard, and it's double because your artwork is gonna be inside, so it's gonna have two layers of heavy duty cardboard. It's really hard to puncture, with those two layers. So you open up the bags. Inside the bags, which already comes with the bags, you will get corners, because it's pretty important to protect the artwork, particularly large pieces. The corners of the artwork are the most important things you need to protect, because those are usually the things that get damaged. When they're tipping your baskets, a lot of times, even if you put the word project on it, they will toss it around. They will, you just never know what may happen, right? In the shipping, it might fall from the belt or something. When they're moving baskets around, and usually the corners are the ones that get damaged. So these, with the heavy duty, will protect your pencil. So these are great. You pull those out, and with ortho comes with more bubble wraps, which you can use. So always more welcome, as well to use. So have that. So these are my boxes, but let's get to work. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put the corners of my box. Got my box here. I'm going to take a corner, put it on the corner of the artwork, and then I'm going to tape my clear tape and also secure the corner. To make sure they're not moves, to make sure they're solid on each corner. So I'm gonna do that for all four types. Next thing, with the extra wrap, bubble wrap that I did, I'm going to also do another layer of protection around the surface. All right, now that my artwork is nicely protected all around, has now 3 layers of bubble wrap around as well, it's ready to go in the back. Now, what I would recommend is your artwork is smaller than the backs. You also put on the sides bubble wrap to keep the backs from moving around. I mean, to keep the artwork from shifting around the insect. Now, once that process is finished, now you're finally ready to close your back. If you take one side, you do artwork inside, and then you just gotta put the other side, which will be the protection outside of it. What I need to do now, take my clear tape, bats, and close the back really, really well. Now, here's another thing I didn't mention. So, like, when you buy the bases from Home Depot, is that they send delivery to your house for free. So I got this box, which cost me about 36 or something, with tax was about $40 the most. And I got free shipping, and it came right to my door. So these bags wouldn't fit in my vehicle, and I could not go to the store and get it. It just wouldn't fit. So I went online, and I ordered the bags online, and there was an option for free delivery, and they delivered it to my house. So that's how convenient is that. Now all I have to do is order the shipping, and then they will come and pick it up from my door as well. If it's UPS or DHL or FedEx, any other regular shipping companies. So when it comes to shipping, what you want to make sure is that you properly measure the bags and that you properly weight the bag. Put it on a scale so that you know the exact weight of the bag. So when you order your shipping, payables probably online, if you're going to do that online, you have the right measurements. Otherwise, you will be quoted for an amount, but then you will get a bill later because maybe you didn't measure it properly, and actually the bag is bigger or it's heavier than what you thought. So make sure that you measured and you weigh your bag properly so that it's go smoothly to the other side, and you get the best price for that. Now, if you ship quite a bit of artwork, you're not at school, happen to ship quite a bit of artwork, I would suggest you also go with a shipping broker. It's just kind of what I use, and also what I use for my gallery. Could you put something together? You work with a shipping purpose. The shipping broker, what I will do is I will send them an email and say, hey, George, I have these bags that I want to ship, and is this size, and is this much weight, and this is what's inside the bags. This is where it's coming from. This is where it's going. And also, this is the value of the artwork. Is how much insurance I want to put on it. Please, quote me on it. So he will look through DHL, FedEx, UPS, and even special carriers if needed, something quite large. And he will typically get me a discount that is anywhere from 30 to 60% lower than if I were to go myself to UPS online or FedEx online and order it myself. So because we ship quite a number of pieces, throughout the year, it's worthwhile and it is great. This is a service that is not really suitable if you only ship 1 or 2 boxes a year, but if you ship more than that, it's great because you can, with the way it works, you create an account with a company. The one I use is InExpress, and I'll put also the information of my shipping agent, in the document. Make sure that you tell them that you saw my episode here in YouTube. And what I love about working with them, working with George Campbell, who is my shipping agent, is that he's also an artist, telling us exactly, how audit works. That's something that wonderful to have you to peace of mind when you're working with somebody who knows how artists work and how dollars work when it comes to shipping. What I love about also working with an agent is when you're shipping something over deep, like in deep paints bag like this, you will not have to fill out all the commercial invoice yourself. They will do it for you. So they know exactly how to categorize the artwork properly for shipping. Depends on what country is going and all those things. So you have peace of mind that, oh, shoot, did I check in the right boxes in the documentation? Did I, properly assign the work of art to what's supposed to be? So, they will do that for you. And all you do is when you receive by email the information, which will be your label. If you speak in the back, if it's national, you don't have to worry about it. Just one label to put in the box. Then if it's international, it will come with a commercial invoice, which you have to print usually 2 copies. You sign a both, and you put it on one of those packing envelopes, clear envelopes that you attach to the back, or you put the paper inside the bag, or any other documentation that needed the vessel where country is going, to make sure that when it arrives in customs, the full letter permit that all there as supposed to be filled out, if you have that piece of mind. So I highly recommend taking that option as well. And again, all that information is going to be on the preview that I'm going to give you in a sec. When shipping something large, always request signature required, so that the person on the other side signs it that they received your artwork. If you put it to a gallery or a museum, or if you sold this to an individual, make sure that you ask for signature required, particularly for some key aspirations, like I said. So as I mentioned, in the advance was on the Audible, super easy. Came already to the corners and everything else, and it's now ready to roll. So it saved me a lot of money by doing this method. And they have boxes of sizes. You have some increased money you can help with that. It's a television moving box. Now, all I want to do, my friend, is now give you the preview that I promised. So I have created a PDF document with best practices for PP art, also with my recommended resource for those of you who ship more than a couple of pieces a year, so that you can also work with my shipping agent if you want an option. And also I have other resources and recommendations for you, as well as the links to, where I got the bags, where I got the glassine paper, where I get all the supplies that you saw here. So all for you, the last thing that you want to do before the bags goes out the door, you do a prayer to make sure that your artwork arrives safely to the other side.
But wait, before you leave this video, if you are an artist who wants to grow your art career and wants to achieve greater success, make sure you check out the Art NXT Level program. You will find a link under this video. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the next video that we have recommended just for you.